Aloha, everybody. Oh, what a day, what a day. It's actually a really good day. Okay, so yesterday I was 187.6. Today I'm 185.4. Um, Walk went really good again. I felt really strong. Went to a gym. Today was a gym day. That went good. I felt strong. I didn't feel like when I was going every day, I felt sore and my knees would be crying. And so I guess because I had that um, day off yesterday from the gym, then when I went today, like it was easier and I wasn't in so much pain. So I guess that was a good decision to do that. Um, and then we'll see like next week if I'm going to check out those classes and see if I want to do that. And we'll see if they seem like kind of not super easy, but kind of something that I could do and not hurt myself. I'm always so scared to hurt myself in the sense that I'm going to do something, hurt myself, and then not be able to walk every morning. And you know that's no bueno for me. Yeah, so I never want anything to happen to where I can't go walking every morning. That would be bad physically and mentally. So yeah, so I'm just going to check them out next week and see if it's something I think I want to incorporate. And if not, then I'll just stick to, you know, not going to the gym every other day, but still getting my walk in. I'll get my cardio in. I just won't get the gym in. And I'll be fine with that too. Another thing I decided to incorporate or reincorporate is years ago. When I say years, I mean probably like 3-4 years ago, I was really into meditation and I loved it. Kind of like how I'm obsessed with walking in the morning. Same thing after my walk, I think I got it in before my walk. I would do just a short meditation and but like a guided meditation off of YouTube, and then I would go do my walk, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. And then I just got off track with that, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to get that back incorporated again. So what I do is for those of you that have watched my videos, you know that I started getting up an hour earlier, but I don't get up. Alarm goes off and I just lay in bed and get woke up. So now, or what I started this morning was exact same thing, except like the last 20 minutes that I'm in bed, I have a meditation video, whatever, on YouTube queued up, ready to go. So the last 20 minutes I'm laying in bed, I throw on my earbuds and listen to that meditation right before I get out of bed. The one I listened to this morning, it was okay. So I'm just going to listen to a different one every morning until I get to one that I'm like, oh, I like that one. It you know, spoke to me, so to speak. The one this morning was fine. It was okay. But just from my past experience doing meditations, it didn't really float my boat, if you will. It was fine. It just didn't speak to me. So I'll just keep trying different ones every morning until I find one that I like, that I could listen to every morning. So I'm reincorporating that, and that's it for today. Everything went great. Everything was on point. So I lost a couple of pounds. I'm not going to call that a whoosh. Maybe a mini whoosh. So that's good. And I was thinking today, because I know in my earlier videos, like I had spoke about, that I was going to speak about my struggles, my food addiction, and how I feel that I got to that point. And in one video I did start talking about it. It's that whole thing is like a lifelong journey, you know, of how I ended up here, or maybe I should say how I ended up at 300 pounds, how I ended up with a food addiction, you know. So I know I did one video that kind of started to get into it as far as when I was, you know, I don't want to say firstborn, but when I was small, because it started very young, you know, like 3 years old, and things I went through. And you have to go back to one of my first few videos. I don't even remember which one it was, but where I just talked about being a little kid and, you know, things that happened, my mom and dad, and divorce, and abuse, and la 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 la. And food being used as a tool against me, right? So when I was little, and this wasn't like with my mother or my father, it was with, and like I say, if you look at my other videos, you'll see the whole story, but it was a family member I was with, and they were abusive, and I talked about it in the other video. But the food was used as a weapon, a tool against me. So, meaning, for example, everybody would get the same thing. Let's say it was peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Everybody's having peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They make the sandwich, give it to everybody. That's what everybody's having. But then when it's time to make my sandwich, they would take like, I don't know, like a half a teaspoon of peanut butter. You know me, I laugh at everything. That's just the way I am. I'm one of those people that laugh at inappropriate things and at inappropriate times. But anyways, yeah, so like this much peanut butter, half a teaspoon, and like try to spread it on the piece of bread, that little tiny bit, and try to spread on the bread. And then the same thing with the jelly, and try to get it on the bread, and then, you know, put the top on it. Here's your sandwich. So it was basically like a abuse, like mental abuse or whatever, because mental, emotional, I don't know. But anyway, stupid little things like that. Oh, everybody's having chocolate milk, and you put the chocolate milk powder and you stir it. Everybody gets their chocolate milk, everything's great. But then it was, when mine was made, you know, again, just like a little half a teaspoon of the chocolate powder in there. Again, just, you know, just abusive bullshit. You know, if I look back and I'm like, man, I was a fat ass little kid. Maybe they were just trying to cut back my calories. No, I was a very skinny little kid. And they used to make fun of that, you know, because they'd say I had bird legs, you know, because I was skinny. So anywho, so yeah, that control with that food. And then once I moved past that, because that was like elementary school, I got out of that situation and back with my real family. And, you know, so I'm in junior high, you know, everything's normal, you know, as far as, you know, abuse and eating food wise and everything is pretty normal. You know, my father was single dad, so we weren't rich, you know, it was pretty much like a paycheck to paycheck situation. So we didn't have like tons of food, and we weren't eating steaks and roast and we were eating like, seriously, poor people food, hot dogs and, you know, the cheap stuff, spaghetti. But it was normal, so it was my first taste of, especially like in junior high when you have control and you can do what you want and go to the kitchen and get what you want and all that. So yeah, it was my first experience of being able to eat what I want, when I want, within reason. So yeah, I would. And then, in high school, it got even worse. But again, it's not like there was an abundance of food because, we weren't, financially abundant. We didn't open the fridge and it was just jam-packed with food and stuff. So, and then because as far as a kid or a teenager or whatever, the good stuff, the snack type foods and the, cereals that were kid cereals, this sugary, Cokes, all that, it's too expensive. So like we didn't really have a lot of that either. That was like once in a blue moon. Yeah, so there wasn't a bunch of the food that a kid or a teenager would like, as far as, junk food, chips and all that stuff. We didn't have a lot of that. So, but, we ate, we're in school, so, breakfast, a lot of times breakfast and lunch was at school. Yeah. So it really got bad once I got married and had my first kid, and then now I'm really free to do as I wish. I got a husband, a kid, my own home, my own place, and our money and buying our groceries, buying what we want, and yeah, that's when it got really, it just was like, woohoo! And that was my home, and we'd go to the grocery store and we'd get what we wanted, and that was when it was like, oh man, and then of course I wanted all the things I couldn't have when I was growing up, when I was little because of the abuse, and then, growing up we were poor, so we didn't have all that junk food and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get me some junk food, this is my money now. And that's when it got bad. That's when it started getting bad, that, well, that's what I want. I never was able to have it, but I'm gonna have it now. And so yeah, so that's when it all started. Just eating what I want, whenever I want, as much as I want. And it just started getting crazy. And, right on into adulthood of, and then of course once I started putting on a lot of weight, then the whole thing, it was just like a roller coaster ride. Oh, I'm an adult now. This is my money. I'm going to buy what I want, eat what I want, as much as I want. Oh my God, I'm putting on a lot of weight. I got to diet. It was just, and then I get divorced and I end up being single mother of 3 kids. And I did the whole thing. Oh, I got kids. I got to have junk in the house. Kids like junk. I didn't get to have junk. Fucked up. But most of my adult life, that's just the way it was. I balls to the wall, eating what I want, as much as I want, whenever I want, and then, oh my God, I'm gaining weight, and then I'm trying to lose weight and spent so much, just like most fat asses, spent tons of money, single mother of 3 kids, and I'm spending money, crazy amounts of money, for this diet and that diet and this diet pill, and that's just the way it's been. That's just the way it's been. So I think, because of what happened in the first, I don't know, 10, 11 years of my life, well, most of my childhood, if you want, until I left home, how things were, is just, I guess I felt deprived or whatever, and so then when I was able to get out on my own and pay for my own and whatnot, it was just balls to the wall. Yeah. So, of course, that's the nutshell version of how I think I became a food addict. Yeah. I mean, and that was just, I was never bulimic or, pigging out and throwing it out. I mean, I never did anything crazy like that. Just balls to the wall, eat whatever I want, gain a bunch of weight, freak out, oh my God, start spending money to try to get weight off, and yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It's an addiction, and it's like anybody else. Oh, I'm addicted to heroin, and they'll sit and tell you their story of their addiction story and like how miserable they were. Well, stop fucking doing heroin. It don't work that way. We all know it. It don't work that way. You can't just say, well, stop doing heroin. Stop drinking alcohol. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I wish it did. I wish there was a pill, a magic. My fairy godmother would come and boop me on the head and all would be well. But that's not the real world. So anywho, I'm at almost 18 minutes and I don't have much more minutes to go, but I just thought I'd finish that story because I started the story like 80 videos ago. But like I say, that's how I think I became a food addict, because I guess I felt deprivation, and then when I was able, I was just like, party time, and became addicted to food, and then yeah, so that's that. And I'm going to get off of here. Well, I was looking for my little dog. She was laying next to me, and I don't think she's feeling too good today. She's acting a little weird. So I'm going to get off of here and go tend to her, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright. Keep fasting, stay strong, hang tough, keep snaking, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Mahalo.